Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It's 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I want to talk about three different things: the wildfires, Trump's commemoration of 9/11 yesterday, and things that I noticed personally. And I want to talk about a little more about Bob Woodward's book. All right, these three things, and they tie together because it's just another view of how Donald Trump only cares about his reelection. It is not about America. It's not about Americans. It's not about the flag. It's not about patriotism. It's about power and money. It always has been. Trump supporters are so convinced that America, it's all about Americans and America, and wave the flag, and he loves us and he loves America. No, man. He doesn't even love your vote. He wants your vote. That's it. If you're not going to vote for him, you no longer exist. You are not consequential. You are of no consequence to Donald Trump if you are not going to vote for him. Look at the wildfires out west. California, Washington, Oregon. Portland and Oregon. There's no love lost there. California, no love lost there. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, I'm not sure where Oregon sits with Trump on the Trumpometer, but I'm guessing it's not that high. It took him 3 weeks to bring up these wildfires, these historic wildfires. 4.5 million acres burned. I think there's 45 fires burning now. Over 20 of them are historically huge forest fires. You look at these pictures, the Golden Gate Bridge, these people being trapped by flames all around, American citizens. The pictures of all those campers gathered by the lake in danger of going up in flames, and he doesn't even acknowledge this. That's how much he cares about all Americans. And then when the hurricane hit Louisiana, just the latest hurricane there a couple of weeks ago, he was on that in a second, because Louisiana is a Trump voting state. Let me talk a little bit about commemorations from yesterday. And these are things I noticed. First of all, he didn't even visit New York City. I mean, he visited Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a swing state, right? No visit to New York City, the actual ground zero. 3,000 people, almost 3,000 people gone, and doesn't even visit there. And here's an interesting thing too, and it bothered me. He went on about how he emphasized the word killed. He's dead, Soleimani. But listen, who gives a flying fig Newton about Soleimani? Look, like I said yesterday, I'm only about 70 miles from ground zero here. Down around Westport, Greenwich, Stamford, you could see the smoke on September 11th back then. There's people around here that have lost, that kids that have grown up without fathers, and it's still somewhat of an open wound around here. And he brings up Soleimani. Let me just say this: I don't know. Bin Laden was an evil man, and should he have been mentioned or not? I don't know. Let me tell you this: when this area, when Americans around here found out that he was taken out by SEALs Team 6, and there's pictures of Obama sitting in the crisis room there, watching it. We cheered around here when we knew that he got hit, took one right between the eyes. That was a great day. I'm not big on revenge or taking people out like that, but that was a great freaking day. He didn't even mention that yesterday. Instead, he brings up Soleimani, his assassination of Soleimani, which was a gamble. It could have easily started World War III. It turned out not too bad, but there's more in Woodward's book about that too. I urge you guys, there's more parts coming out, and how the generals around that time when Soleimani was taken out, how they were seriously around then, and then with North Korea, that they were very ready for World War III. Again, this is in Woodward's book. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But he brought us to the brink closer than I think a lot of us thought a few times. All right, so back to 9/11. This is something else I noticed. And granted, I am not a fan of Donald Trump, so I was looking for things that, that I didn't like. I'll be honest with you guys. Okay, so he mentioned, he brought up law enforcement, police. He kept mentioning, and I don't want to create a friction between police, first responders, between police and firemen. But I noticed that he kept emphasizing, to me, it seemed that he was emphasizing the police more and law enforcement more. Over 300 firefighters lost their lives that day. Firefighters, I'm not saying police didn't play a big role. Firefighters ran into that building en masse that day. And to me, it really, this is just my opinion, it really felt that he gave them a back seat when he talked about the whole thing yesterday. That to me, it seemed that he talked about police a lot more. And he brought them up a lot more than the firefighters. And I'm hesitant to, but this is my opinion. This is what I saw, and I don't know. I don't know if other people noticed this or if maybe it was just me. Again, just my opinion. All right, and now Woodward's book. I have to laugh because I can't. Sometimes it's just unbelievable. The responses by Trump supporters to Trump's downplaying or lying about the severity of the virus of COVID-19. And I did not, I got to tell you guys, I didn't see this coming. I did not see this coming, that they were going to turn around and blame Woodward. I have to laugh. This is so ridiculous. And then Trump said, well, if Trump himself said something about, well, if Woodward thought it was important, or why didn't he tell the authorities? He brought up something about the authorities. And I couldn't believe what I'm hearing. Is Trump saying that it's Woodward's fault because Bob Woodward didn't point out what a crummy, dishonest job he was doing? So it's not my fault. Woodward should have pointed out to me that I was lying, should have pointed out to the American people that I was lying and not handling my job. It's his fault. He should have brought it up. He should have pointed it out. Is that where we're really at now in America? I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to compare this to. This is the level of denial and again, the absolute refusal to take any responsibility whatsoever. This man will not take responsibility for anything, will not acknowledge anything. Any real man, any alpha male, any leader takes responsibility. The buck stops here. You can't trust a man that does not take responsibility. Again, I hate to say this. I don't want to say things that might be detrimental down the line, but this creates a trust issue with Donald Trump, especially this time of year, this time of this whole situation with this virus and the vaccine, a possible vaccine coming out in months ahead. Our government, the authorities, everybody has to be on the same page. There has to be a level of trust here. And when this comes out, that Donald Trump's acknowledging that he downplayed the severity of it drastically. He made, it's not much worse than the regular flu, when in fact he knew it was over 5 times worse, that it was transmitted much more easily. It was much more deadly than he was letting on, because he didn't want to panic the American people, because he's an optimist. Look, guys, like I said, I've said this many times. I was a master liar and manipulator for 20 years of my drug-addicted career. And I could spot BS when I hear it, and that is BS. The reason he didn't say it is because he didn't want to create panic, but he's not finishing that sentence, because it would take away from his votes. It would take away from the economy. It would make him look bad. He didn't finish. It was a half-truth. He didn't want to panic the American people. That's true. But there's a reason why he didn't want to panic the American people, and it was solely for him, for his benefit, that he didn't want to. That's the part he's not. Again, it goes back to my years of using drugs when I would lie. I'd tell half truths. Yeah, I went there, but I wouldn't. I leave out the part of why I went there. You know, and it's easy to spot these things. So that's where we're at now in America. It's Bob Woodward's fault because he didn't point out what a crummy, dishonest job the President of the United States is doing. That's the level of incompetence and dishonesty that we're at now. I have to laugh. I have to laugh. Again, and I shouldn't, because with a possible vaccine coming out soon, it's imperative that the country believes that this is safe. And when you have recorded proof right in front of you that he wasn't telling us the truth, how deadly this virus was in the first place, how are we going to believe how safe the vaccine? Oh, it's 100% safe. Who's going to believe that? Who's going to believe that completely in their mind? I mean, I hate to say that, but it's the truth. All right. I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a good Saturday.